Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Officer Mike Jurka of the New Lenox Police Department. This afternoon, I'm representing the New Lenox and Manhattan TRIAD, and today we're going to go over computer security. Computer security, how to protect yourself and your computer. While keeping your computer up to date will not protect you from all attacks, it makes it much more difficult for hackers to gain access to your system, blocks many basic and automated attacks completely, and might be enough to discourage a less determined attacker to look for more vulnerable computers elsewhere. What is computer security? Computer security is the process of preventing and detecting unauthorized use of your computer. It involves the process of safeguarding against intruders from using your computer resources for malicious intents or for their own gains, or even gaining access to them accidentally. Most companies release software that can be configured to download and apply updates automatically so that you do not have to remember to check for the latest software. Taking advantage of auto-update features in your software is a great start toward keeping yourself safe online. Keep your computer current with the latest patches and updates. A patch is a type of programming code that is used to repair an identified software bug or vulnerability. An information manager, a software fix that mitigates a vulnerability by resolving the underlying implementation error. Vulnerability, a known weakness in an operating system or application that could be exploited by an attack. They are discovered and reported by vulnerability scanning products. If exploited, it could lead to an unacceptable impact in the form of an unauthorized access to information or disruption of critical processing. Make sure your computer is configured securely. A newly purchased computer may not have the right level of security for you. When you are installing your computer at home, pay attention not just to making your new system function, but also to making it work securely. Configuring internet applications such as your web browser and email software is one of the most important areas to focus on. If you are uncomfortable configuring your computer yourself, consult someone you know and trust for assistance or contact the vendor directly. Choose strong passwords and keep them safe. Passwords are a fact of life on the internet today. The following tips can help make your online experience secure. Select a password that cannot be easily guessed to keep your password secure and away from the wrong hands. Strong passwords have 8 characters or more and use a combination of letters, numbers, and symbols. Avoid using any of the following as your password: your login name, anything based on personal information such as your last name, and words that can be found in the dictionary. Try to select especially strong, unique passwords for protecting activities like online banking. Never give your password to anyone. Anyone who has your password can get into your account and your files. Anyone who has your password can pose as you. Keep your password in a safe place. Try not to use the same password for every service you use online. Change passwords on a regular basis, at least every 90 days. This can limit the damage caused by someone who has already gained access to your account. If you notice something suspicious with one of your online accounts, one of the first steps you can take is to change your password. Protect your computer with security software. Firewall and antivirus programs protect you from viruses, spam, identity theft, and social media dangers. Several types of security software are necessary for basic online security. Security software essentials include firewall and antivirus programs. A firewall is your computer's first line of defense. It controls who and what communicates with your computer online. A firewall is a sort of traffic cop. It watches all the data attempting to flow in and out of your computer on the internet, allowing communications that it knows are safe and blocking bad traffic, such as attacks from ever reaching your computer. The next line of defense is antivirus software, which monitors all online activities and protects your computer from viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and other types of malicious programs. Recent versions of antivirus programs also protect from spyware and potentially unwanted programs such as adware. Having security software that gives you control over software you may not want and protects you from online threats is essential to staying safe on the internet. Your antivirus and anti-spyware software should be configured to update itself, and it should do so every time you connect to the internet. Malicious programs, malware, how they attack. Malware is a category of malicious code that includes virus, worms, and Trojan horses. Destructive malware will utilize popular communication tools to spread, including worms sent through email and instant messages. Trojan horses dropped from websites and virus-infected files downloaded from peer-to-peer connections. Malware will also seek to exploit existing vulnerabilities on systems, making their entry quiet and easy. How do you know? Malware works to remain unnoticed, either by actively hiding or by simply not making its presence on a system known to the user. Spyware, how spyware attacks. Spyware can be downloaded from websites, email messages, instant messages, and from direct file sharing connections. Additionally, a user may unknowingly receive spyware by accepting an end-user license agreement from a software program. How do you know you need anti-spyware? Spyware frequently attempts to remain unnoticed, either by actively hiding or by simply not making its presence on a system known to the user. Anti-spyware software helps protect your computer against pop-ups, slow performance, and security threats caused by spyware and other unwanted software. To keep up with the latest forms of spyware, you must keep your anti-spyware software updated. Anti-spam. What is the purpose of spam filter software? It examines incoming email messages to identify the unsolicited ones. It filters your email for spam emails and either prevents them appearing at all or sorts them into a separate location. Parental controls. Parental control software refers to a wide spectrum of software programs and resources for a wide variety of different devices and technologies. What all of these have in common is that they facilitate the control of one user, typically a parent, over the use and access of another user, typically a child. Shield your personal information. Exercise caution when sharing personal information such as your name, home address, phone number, and email address online. To take advantage of many online services, you will inevitably have to provide personal information in order to handle billing and shipping of purchased goods. Since not divulging any personal information is rarely possible, the following list contains some advice for how to share personal information safely online. Keep an eye out for phony email messages. Messages may be fraudulent if they contain misspelling, poor grammar, odd phrasings, URLs with strange extensions, or that consist entirely of numbers, and anything else out of the ordinary. Additionally, phishing messages will often tell you that you have to act quickly to keep your account open, update your security, or urge you to provide information immediately, or else something bad will happen. Don't take the bait. Steer clear of fraudulent websites used to steal personal information. When visiting a website, type the URL directly into the web browser rather than follow a link within an email or instant message. Fraudsters often forge these links to make them look convincing. A shopping, banking, or other website that require your sensitive info should begin with HTTPS. The S stands for secure and should appear when you are in an area requesting your login or provide other sensitive data. Another sign that you have a secure connection is the small lock icon at the bottom of your web browser, usually the right-hand corner. Pay attention to privacy policies on websites and in software. It is important to understand how an organization might collect and use your personal information before you share it with them. Guard your email address. Spammers and phishers sometimes send millions of messages to email addresses that may or may not exist in hopes of finding a potential victim. Responding to these messages ensures you will be added to their list for more of the same messages in the future. Also, be careful when posting your email address in newsgroups, blogs, or online communities. Phishing messages. Phishing is essentially an online con game, and phishers are nothing more than tech-savvy con artists and identity thieves. They use spam, malicious websites, email messages, and instant messages to trick people into divulging sensitive information, such as bank and credit card accounts. How do you know? Phishers, pretending to be legitimate companies, may use email to request personal information and direct recipients to respond through malicious websites. Phishers tend to use emotional language using scare tactics or urgent requests to entice recipients to respond. The phish sites can look like legitimate sites because they use the copyrighted images from legitimate sites. Fraudulent messages are often not personalized and may share similar properties like details in the header and footer. Requests for confidential information via email or instant message tend to not be legitimate. What is a Trojan horse? Similar to Greek fable, this program presents itself as a useful computer program while it actually causes havoc and damage to your computer. Trojans, first stage of an attack. Primary purpose is to stay hidden while downloading and installing a stronger threat, such as a bot. Trojan horses cannot spread by themselves. They are often delivered to a victim through an email message where it masquerades as an image or joke, or by a malicious website which installs the Trojan horse on a computer through vulnerabilities in web browser software such as Microsoft Internet Explorer. After it is installed, the Trojan horse lurks silently on the infected machine, invisibly carrying out its misdeeds such as downloading spyware while the victim continues on with their normal activities. What is a bot? Most of the spam that is sent today originates from botnets, which use several different techniques to get their unwanted messages past recipients' mail filters. In addition to renting out their botnets to spammers, bot herders also use the botnet spamming functionality themselves, sending out disguised copies of the bot malware or hyperlinks to hosted copies of it, in an effort to increase the size of the network. If you are a victim of an attack, disconnect. If you are a victim of a crimeware attack, you should disconnect from the internet immediately. If you're connected via Wi-Fi, phone, or Ethernet cable, you need to disable the connection as soon as possible to prevent data from being transmitted to the criminal. Breaking your network connection is the best way to put an immediate stop to the attack. You can disconnect your internet connection by physically unplugging from the router or network connection, and also disable the connection on your PC by following the steps. Click on the Start menu. Click on Settings. In the Settings menu, select Network Connections. Right-click and select the Disable option. If an attack takes place on your personal or home PC, you should contact your internet service provider. Scan your PC. It's good practice to have antivirus software installed and up to date in case this kind of incident occurs. Antivirus and anti-spyware software are the best tools to protect against crimeware. As well as being able to detect crimeware threats from your PC, which might otherwise go unnoticed, antivirus and anti-spyware programs can often remove the threat as well. In some instances, the software may detect the crimeware, but might not be able to remove it. In this case, you can consult your IT department for removal tool listings to see if there is a separate tool which can be downloaded to remove the threat. Create a backup. It's good practice to create regular backups of your files and folders. While the aim of crimeware is largely to steal information or data, there's a good chance that files may be lost or destroyed during the recovery process. You can make backups by using backup software, using another hard drive, or removable media such as a CD, DVD, or flash drive. Keep all of your irreplaceable digital photos, video, music, financial documents, and other important stuff safe from loss. Reinstall your operating system. Depending on the severity of the attack, it might be necessary to reinstall the operating system of your computer. What is a rootkit? A rootkit is similar to a hack tool. An intruder uses a rootkit to gain administrator-level access to a computer. These tools are generally difficult to detect and are installed by cracking a password or through a known vulnerability. Similar to a hack tool, an intruder uses this tool to gain administrator-level access to a computer. These tools are generally difficult to detect and are installed by cracking passwords through known vulnerabilities to access a remote computer. Software can return your system to its last stable state before the infection took place. In other situations, the date of infection might not be known, and more sensitive data might be put at risk. In this case, the safest option might be to recover your files and reinstall your operating system. Online offers that look too good to be true usually are. Supposedly, free software such as screensavers or smileys, secret investment tricks, sure to make you untold fortunes, and contests that you've surprisingly won without entering are the enticing hooks used by companies to grab your attention. While you may not directly pay for the software or service with money, the free software or service you asked for may have been bundled with advertising software, adware, that tracks your behavior and displays unwanted advertisements. You may have to divulge personal information or purchase something else in order to claim your supposed contest winnings. If an offer looks so good it's hard to believe, ask for someone else's opinion. Read the fine print, or even better, simply ignore it. Review your bank and credit card statements regularly. The impact of identity theft and online crimes can be greatly reduced if you can catch it shortly after your data is stolen or when the first use of your information is attempted. One of the easiest ways to get the tip-off that something has gone wrong is by reviewing the monthly statements provided by your bank and credit card companies for anything out of the ordinary. Additionally, many banks and services use fraud prevention systems that call out unusual purchasing behavior. For example, if you live in Texas and all of a sudden start buying refrigerators in Budapest. In order to confirm these out of the ordinary purchases, they might call you and ask you to confirm them. Don't take these calls lightly. This is your hint that something bad may have happened and you should take action. Follow the steps outlined in What to Do If You're a Victim. How to prevent online fraud. Set up fraud alerts. Set up fraud alert with the 3 national consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Contacting just one of these companies will set up the alert for all 3. The fraud alert will tell creditors to contact you directly before making any changes to existing accounts or allowing you or someone using your identity to open up new ones. This is an essential step to control the amount of damage an identity thief can do with your stolen information. This step also allows you to order your credit reports from each of the agencies for free. Keep an eye on your credit reports. Keep an eye on your credit reports from each of these agencies, as the information in the reports might differ somewhat. It might take some time for fraudulent activity to appear on your reports, which is why some agencies offer an all-in-one reports or just-in-time alerting services for an additional fee. In some cases, it might be worth considering one of these quick turnaround reports depending on the level of threat and potential impact. Look for signs of identity theft. It's a good idea to be extra vigilant following an incident of identity theft. Look out for things arriving in the post, such as credit cards you haven't applied for or anything else that seems suspicious. You should also make sure that you're receiving all your utility and other bills that are sent to your home address. In some circumstances, you might be contacted by vendors regarding accounts you haven't opened, or debt collectors may contact you regarding purchases made by someone else. Look for signs of identity theft. It's a good idea to be extra vigilant. Taking precautions. Security risks online are common and can cause massive amounts of damage when an attack takes place. While we can't control the actions of cyber criminals, we can take the necessary steps to protect ourselves and minimize the risk of becoming a victim of cyber crimes by installing good internet security software, backing up our data, and being vigilant. And that concludes today's topic of computer security. I want to thank everyone for coming out to the Triad and look forward to seeing everyone at next month's meeting. Thank you very much.